the ring, and the crowd is making a lot of noise about it. Stander, you'll remember, had his big day as he goes into the ring on May 25th, 1972. Omaha, Nebraska, fighting Joe Frazier for the heavyweight championship of the world. And Joe Frazier, after 4 reasonable rounds, demolished him in the 5th. Let's look at some of that action. Joe Frazier, Stander leaning all over him. Stander, a journeyman fighter, but if he can do nothing else, he can punch. Joe Frazier and Ron Stander going at it May 25, 1972. And it was in the 5th round, as I noticed, that Joe Frazier did it to Stander, and the referee had to stop the contest. Now you're looking at Kenny Norton in his dressing room. Kenny Norton, who had his big day of it in May, or back in March 31st, 1973, forgive me, at the San Diego Arena. That was the day he stunned the world when he fractured Ali's jaw and won a split decision over Ali, which Ali later avenged. And then disaster struck him, Kenny Norton, in March of 1974 at Caracas, Venezuela, when George Foreman, and Norton seemed transfixed that day, almost paralyzed. Foreman knocked Norton out in the 2nd round. Ever since, he's been coming back, and he's been biding his time, hoping for a shot at Ali, which he expects to get later this year because he has been a difficult fighter, as noted, for Ali in the prior 2 decisions, which he split with the champion. In the meantime, the one big thing he's done since the Norton fight was against Jerry Quarry, and that was in 1975, when he knocked out Jerry Quarry and forced Jerry Quarry once and for all to finally retire. And in just a couple of seconds, you'll be seeing that action, and what I want you to note is how Norton can punch with either hand. Watch this now. Kenny Norton against Jerry Quarry. We'll talk more about Norton, of course, during his fight tonight with Ron Stander. But the big thing to see here is the man can punch with either hand, and the referee had no choice but to stop the contest. Look at that left against Quarry, and that's what set it up for the stoppage of the fight. Now, I've already talked to you about Ali against Norton on March 31st, 1973. I want to pick up with the action in that fight, Kenny Norton's biggest moment, as I described it then, when an unbelieving crowd in the San Diego Arena saw Ali really beaten up. Good right fight, but that right hurt Muhammad Ali. That right hurt Ali. It got in there and then blooded Ali's mouth, too. Norton is all over. Norton is the one with the fight left in him. The countdown for the end of the fight. Ali's mouth is bloody. The left gets in, and a good right. He is all over Ali. Kenny Norton's greatest moment, while he's been biding his time, he's become a very interesting personality, biding his time in the sense of waiting for a shot at Ali. He's become a motion picture star. Mandingo was the movie that made him prominent in the motion picture sense, and he's just made another movie called Drum. To show you the other side of Kenny Norton, here are scenes from those films.
Right.
Yes. All right. Round 1 underway, as you can see. Kenny Norton against Ron Stander. The scoring this fight on the 5-point must system per round. It has a mandatory 8 count. 3 knockdowns of a fighter in 1 round will end the fight. There's no saving by the bell. Stander in the red trunks, the white fighter. Kenny Norton in the blue velvet with the white trim, the black fighter. Kenny Norton, once a sparring partner of Joe Frazier. But much more than that now. Looking at Stander's body, you can see that he's got too much weight. Plain truth about this man is he is a journeyman fighter. He once had dreams like all fighters do. Somehow they linger because what else can he do at this stage? He's 31, Kenny Norton's 30. See Norton get that left in there? Stander lost 2 out of 3 fights in 74. Won 3 out of 5 in 75. He cuts quickly. His face is red right now, and there's a cut over his left eye. This won't go long at all. Stander flailing away, but Kenny Norton doing the damage. And Stander, a veritable punching bag, very quickly. This is round 1 of a scheduled 12-rounder. It won't go that or anything like it. Norton's just heating up. We're back at Capitol Center, Landover, Maryland, at ringside. Round 3 of the scheduled 12-rounder between Kenny Norton and Ron Stander. Ron Stander, the near obese one, to the right of your screen, of course. Now it's back to you. First 2 rounds, mere exercise for Ken Norton. It's interesting that Ron Stander, when he was lighter and a little younger, knocked out Ernie Shavers. Would you believe that? Not that Shavers is a good fighter either. But Shavers did knock out Jimmy Young once in the first round. Later, the 2 fought a draw. That's the weakest aspect of Jimmy Young's record. Still to come is the Ali-Young fight for the heavyweight championship of the world. Well, you've got to give Stander credit for guts. They've closed up the cut over the left eye again, working on it assiduously between rounds. Stander trying to cover, Norton measuring and connecting. Right through the guard, left, right, combinations pouring in on Stander. Moving down to the midsection when Stander covers. Ken Norton, a workmanlike professional now. In his own words, getting better and better. Still hard to explain what happened to him in the Caracas caper against Foreman. March 26, 1974.
Get over, step back.
Heard the referee, Harry Caccini, say step back. He's looking at the eye, calling for medical opinion. Mercifully, this thing may end.
Good.
How do you feel? Good, Stander said.
Gets any worse. Stop. Let it go now.
If it gets any worse, the medical examiner told Harry Caccini, the referee, stop it immediately. If it gets any worse, it's a mess. Blood is pouring out from over the eye, blinding the fighter. Norton is working methodically on it. It's not a pretty scene.
Get off of
It's the way it is in boxing.
All right, stop punching. Stop punching.
Oh, a right got into that eye again. Harry Caccini's got to take another look at that left eye of Ron Stander.
Stop punching.
He's separating them now and not stopping the fight.
All right, stop punching.
We're counting down to the end of round 3 with pictures that speak for themselves. Norton in a punching exercise. They are letting the fight continue. The bell for round 4, Norton against Stander. And I understand I've got to hook up to the heavyweight champion of the world, Muhammad Ali, in his dressing room. Muhammad, this is an exercise for Kenny because he wants you.
Well, it's not really exercise. It looks easy, but it's hard work. This man is hitting hard. He could hit Kenny. He could butt him or cut him. So it's not as easy as it look, Howard.
All right, accepting that, Norton wants you. He's a workmanlike fighter, and he gave you 2 tough goes.
He shall get me very soon. I am the greatest fighter of all times, Norton has never been the champion. I've been the champion for years. I'm ranked with the greatest, and when this man meets me, my hands are not hurting like they were the first 2 times. This time I shall knock him out cold because I'm going to do him like George Foreman did, and like I did Frazier, I'm going to be hitting hard.
Okay.
First 2 times I was not hitting hard. I was dancing and running. Novocaine was in my hands. My hands were hurting, but now I'm ready.
All right, let's get back to this fight. Stander's eye is gone again. Muhammad, thank you. Good luck in your bout against Jimmy Young. Stander's left eye is bleeding profusely again. It's the cut above the eye. When the cut's above the eye, as I've often noted, it pours into the eye and blinds the fighter. A cut below the eye, a fighter can continue indefinitely. You see the quickness of Norton's punching there, the combinations. Wild swinging by Stander, and now trying to cover up. Norton moves down to the midsection when there's no other recourse. This is what I mean by a professional fighter. Underrated by all of us in the beginning, although I must confess that some of what Ali said is true. He did have a damaged right hand when he fought Norton the first time. Harry Caccini telling Norton to keep his punches up. Norton apologizing to Stander. This is 4th round action, and it's been a bloodbath for Ron Stander.
Stop punching. Step back.
Stander is just falling forward, leaning on Norton. An occasional wild swing. End of the round approaching. Same pattern. Round 5 underway. Yes, the fight's still on, believe it or not. In case you joined us late, after this fight, we'll have the heavyweight championship fight, Muhammad Ali against Jimmy Young. This fight has been, in effect, target practice for Ken Norton. Early on in the first round, he drew blood, and much of it from above Stander's left eye. Stander, as you can see, appears to be overweight and substantial. Oh, that right got right to him, right through the guard, and stung him. He's now just trying to cover up. Norton moving down to the midsection. Medical examiner examined the eye in the 3rd round, said let it go no further if the eye gets worse. But so far, Harry Caccini, the referee, has not seen fit to stop. Watching this fight, talking with us a moment ago, Muhammad Ali himself. Pummeling continues. Kenny would like to put an end to it, but so far hasn't been able to. That's it. Finally, Harry Caccini stops the fight. Ron Stander was just above us. We've been under him in his corner, blood pouring down from his face, and just really too bad. So one-sided from the very beginning, and this could have been expected from the very beginning because there's nothing in Ron Stander's record ever since the loss to Frazier in May of '72 that would lead one to believe that he could be a testing challenge. Right now, after this pause for station identification, we'll be back with more exclusive coverage of the heavyweight fight telecast here at Capitol Center, live, Landover, Maryland.